Welcome back, Brett Hull. This is Justin Harris, and we're going to talk a little bit about supplements and supplement labels and some of the kind of shady stuff that goes on when you're going to be looking at the labels of the brand new Muscle Pump 9000 that you just picked up. So one of the things that's come up with me and clients, and even just checking some of the supplements that I have, especially BCAAs or essential amino acids, is on the back. You read the label and it says that there's 0 grams of protein. Right? You're getting 10 grams of amino acids, but somehow you're not getting any protein, and so somehow there's no calories in it. So you're gonna have.
It'd be wonderful if that was true. Yeah, if you could eat 500 grams of amino acids all day, somehow magically does 0 calories. But yeah, it's the technicality. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein, but so technically they aren't a complete protein. So you don't. They're a fraction of a protein, so they don't have to. I don't know if it's the FDA's rules or where that comes from, but yeah, they don't technically have to count that as calories, even though they are. If you eat 500 grams of amino acids, it's the same calorie content as if you were eating 500 grams of protein.
Right. So those calories are going to add up every day, especially if you're using it as flavoring for your water or your cardio.
Or people that think they're doing fasted cardio when they're drinking a 20-gram amino acid shake. And if anything, like branching amino acids can be used directly as an energy source. So you're blunting fat burning in that. Your body will preferentially use those branching amino acids as energy, so it doesn't have to break down fat in your body for energy. So if you're drinking a big shake, if you're drinking a 200-calorie shake with 50 grams of amino acid or something while you're doing your cardio, and you're only burning 200 calories, it's all you did was you spent that time on the treadmill to burn off those amino acids you ate.
Maybe your heart got a little bit of shape.
Yeah, I guess there's some health benefits. Who cares about
that? That won't make you any bigger. Yeah. So what about like some of the other labels, like proprietary blends?
The proprietary blend thing is really a bad thing. It's almost, if you see proprietary blend, you should steer clear from that product, because what they're doing is when you list each ingredient separately, you have to label how much of that ingredient is in the product. But if you're doing a proprietary blend with 10 different products and say, of the 10 products, there's one product that you know is really effective and it's a great fat burner, or some the ingredient you want. They know that's the ingredient you want, and it's almost always the most expensive ingredient also. So what they do is they mix all 10 ingredients in a proprietary blend where 99% of that proprietary blend is the crappy ingredient, and a tiny fraction is that ingredient you actually want. It's almost by default, if a company is using a proprietary blend, it's because they don't want to spend the money to put the expensive product in at a dose that's effective. The other thing with supplements is that they're getting better. I think maybe around 2008, I think the FDA made some changes and some regulations. Before that point, you could literally put dirt in a bottle and pretty much call it anything you wanted. It's slightly better now. There's a difference between a supplement and a food product. A food product has to go through strict safety regulations. That's like when you go to Kellogg or something, everyone's in, white lab coats and hats and gloves, and everything has to go through all the sterilization process, and your floor has to be graded, and the air has to be recirculated every 2 minutes, and it has to meet all these stringent guidelines. Around 2008, they added some of those things to the supplement industry, and that's right when I was leaving the
manufacturing.
Yeah. And so it's a little bit better than it used to be, but they are still not food products. And so with supplements, be very careful who you pick. It's not always you get what you pay for, but almost always if something's really cheap, it's because it's really crappy. A lot of times, though, a product that's really expensive is really crappy too, and they just have good
a great label.
Yeah, good marketing, good label. So you really need to find companies that are, and I won't plug it. I'm not sponsored right now, so I won't plug any companies, but really find companies that. I plug my sponsor anyway. That's what I'm saying, even if they were crappy. But be careful.
Except for this company.
Yeah. Be careful and do your research. And there are some good companies. There's some good large name companies, and there's some good small name companies that produce it in bulk and wholesale. And you can always, if you're really that interested, and most people should be, if you're serious about your body and your supplements, you can get the products tested. And a company recently did that, and they tested a number of different products, and some of the protein rates for protein powders were embarrassing. 50%. One of them was I think like a supermarket store brand that claimed to have 20 grams of protein per serving only had 5 grams.
rest sawdust.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what cocoa powder. And so you have to be careful and use a company you trust.
Yeah. One other thing with flavoring, especially a lot of companies, they can say how much of the product is in the scoop, but if half of that's flavoring, then you're not going to be getting the 30 grams of whatever you thought you're getting. You maybe getting 19 and 11 grams of flavoring with it. So
I can go. Another thing with that is because one of the flavorings that's used a lot is malic acid because it helps dissolve, bring the chunky products into solution. But chunky, non-dissolved products are typically a good thing. Amino acids, branched chain amino acids, are large molecules. Leucine is almost the size of a regular protein. Leucine's are big, and it doesn't dissolve well in water. So if you're buying a branched chain amino acid that's like, because leucine is basically the specific trigger for protein synthesis, so that is an very important amino acid. If you're buying a branched chain amino acid that claims to have 5 grams of leucine per serving, if you mix it in water and you can swirl a spoon a couple of times and it's completely dissolved, it probably doesn't have leucine. They do have the instantized amino acids, but even those are still large and still don't dissolve very well, and so and that's what I used to take pride in an oral product Anatrope, is that people would drink it and it tasted like sand. And then I'd say the reason is because it has a high amount of leucine, and it actually is leucine. It's not, we're not lying about it. And so that's something to be careful with products. If something dissolves too well, protein powders, especially whey and whey isolate, things like that do blend really well now. But if something claims to have a very high amount of branched chain amino acids and specifically leucine, and it dissolves perfectly and tastes just like plain water, it's probably not the content that they're claiming. I mean, I don't want, because I'm thinking of a few products right now that do dissolve pretty well. They're instantized branched chain amino acids, but they still have kind of that grittiness to them. You should expect that. If something tastes too good to be true with supplements, it probably is. If supplements really do taste like crap.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember the old Russian bear?
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you mix it with a gallon of whole milk, it's a 5,000 calorie weight gainer.
It's like concrete.
Yeah.
Concrete.
All the old ones. I remember buying a protein powder one time that mixed into the water, swirled it up, it dissolved, and then it re-clumped into this like yellowish orange glob. Yeah, it just coagulated and all the water separated back out of solution. That was early 90s. Yeah. Oh yeah. Probably cost $3 a bottle.
Yeah.